This is Carie with Fullerton Professional Organizing, and I hope January is doing well for you, going well for you. I hope that you're having a great 2023 so far. Well, today I am talking to you about decluttering and small space organizing and just some ideas for you in this new year. And some of my information is coming from Catie Kelly. I saw her on a Zoom on YouTube where she was talking about organization, and I'll tell you a little bit about what she talks about. She talks about decluttering benefits. The benefits of decluttering is less stress because you're not overwhelmed with your space and all the visual things that you see, and you're going to sleep better if you have a neater, less chaotic space, and you're going to save money because of all the things that you couldn't find and you repurchased, possibly lost checks. I've seen clients that had checks that they didn't know that they had, that they forgot to deposit. There's all kinds of things, or maybe you have so much stuff that you're paying for a storage unit. That's what I did for a whole year, and finally realized that I could have purchased all the items in storage once a month. Some of those items could have been purchased over and over and over again because I was paying $80 a month for storage. So a lot of the stuff in there wasn't even worth $80, and yet I was paying $80 a month to keep these items. And I did finally sell a lot of those items and built up a little bit of a savings for myself. So that's a way that decluttering can save you money. So don't just declutter and put it in a storage unit. You're going to have more free time because the less things you have to clean, the easier it is to clean, right? So here are some of the steps for decluttering as well. Just start with one space at a time, 5 minutes at a time, 10 minutes at a time, 30 minutes at a time. Whatever amount of time keeps you motivated without being overwhelmed. That is how much time you need to dedicate to it. Start small and build up to it. Take it all out if you're that type of person that can take it all out and not get overwhelmed. But if you are that type of person that gets overwhelmed easily, then just take one zone at a time. You know, if it's just, for example, if it's your kitchen, you'll do the baking area, or maybe just one drawer, or just start with a utility drawer. Or if it's your closet, just start with the shoes and then start with the hang up tops and then the bottoms. You know, just start small but get started. You know, it's progress, not perfection. Progress, not Pinterest perfect. So then you're going to categorize everything so that you can see how many in one category you have. If you have 21 black tops, maybe you need to downsize to 5 black tops. Same with shoes. If you have, 10 pairs of black heels, maybe you only need 1 pair of black heels or 2 pairs of black heels. So once you see how many of one category you have, you can determine how much you really need. And it depends on how much space you have. You know, if you're not going to declutter everything, sometimes you just have to declutter enough so that your space isn't overflowing. That's a start. And then you can go back and declutter as you feel comfortable. Be sure that you donate, recycle, throw out, sell what you're not keeping. And make sure you've decluttered enough to where you have a home for everything in your home. And then just don't give up. Find your why. Do you want less stress? Do you want to be less overwhelmed? Or do you want this area to now function as a nursery? Do you want to now change this to a craft room? Do you need an office? What is your why for decluttering? What is it that you're making space for? That can give you motivation. In the kitchen, you only want to keep what you use on a daily basis at eye and waist level. From here to your waist, those are all your daily use items. All the items that you don't use as often, you're going to put up high or down low. Or if you have little kids that need to reach things, those are the items that you will put down low. And all of your seasonal items will either be up in your top cabinets, or if you don't have room in your kitchen for the seasonal items, then you can pack those up and put them in your garage for seasonal use or somewhere else that makes sense. You don't want to use your prime real estate for things that you don't use, especially if your space looks cluttered and you're now wanting it to look peaceful and restful, and you want to be able to find the things that you use on a daily basis or a weekly basis. It just makes things simpler. Now, I've said this before, and this totally works. As far as dishes go, you only need enough dishes for each person that lives in your home. 1 plate, 1 cup, 1 spoon, one of every item, so that the only thing you're washing is enough for your family on a daily. If you have problems with your kids getting out 10 cups a day and you're tired of washing 10 cups a day, then don't provide them 10 cups for them to reach and grab and use. You can make a bin in the garage for those items so that you only take them out when you have company and need the extra plates and eating utensils. That will help you. I took everything out of my kitchen that I didn't use on a daily, and I put them in the garage just to see what I actually used and what I didn't actually use. Now, some of the things that I knew were seasonal type items that I sometimes use, I kept in the garage. My bread maker stays in the garage, and I take it out around Thanksgiving, and I use it every Christmas to make cinnamon rolls. I would use it more, but my husband's diabetic and we try not to eat bread. So I still love to use it. I do still use it every single year. So I keep that in the garage, and it comes in and out around Thanksgiving, Christmas time. Your closet. You only want to keep the clothes that fit you, that fit your lifestyle, like if you need workout wear, and you're into fitness. If you actually wear it, love it on you, it's in good condition, and if you have a problem with getting rid of clothes because you lose weight and gain weight, keep all the stretchy clothes so that you have that space to gain and lose weight and not have to buy a whole new wardrobe, and you don't have to keep a whole bunch of clothes worried about whether or not you are going to gain or lose weight. So it's okay to keep a few stretchy items for that, but let's try not to use that as a motivation to keep too many items, because we don't want to also use it as an excuse. Well, if I gain weight, let's try to change that mindset to I will never gain that weight again. I'm going to keep motivated so that I don't have to buy a whole new wardrobe. And then, like I said, just keep those stretchier pants and stretchier clothes so that if you fluctuate, you still have some wiggle room. Now, if you have those once a year items like those Christmas sweaters and seasonal items, those can either be stored at the very top of your closet, or those can be stored under your bed, out of the way, to not use that prime real estate again. And always keep a decluttering bin in your closet and a dirty clothes bin in your closet so that your dirty clothes goes in the dirty clothes. If you're putting something on and you realize, oh gosh, it doesn't fit, it feels uncomfortable, it's ripped, it's torn, you can automatically put it in a donation bin. Okay, now if it's trash, it goes straight to trash. Now, way to keep out mail and paperwork clutter. When you check your mail, go ahead, walk to the trash can before you even enter your home and throw away the mail that you don't want in your home. Go ahead and get rid of it before you even enter the house. Now, consider scanning any paperwork that you do need to keep. Keep your bills and pay stubs that you need for only a year. 3 years are your tax items. You only need to keep them for 3 years. Receipts, you can throw all of those receipts away unless you need them for insurance purposes, because you can always find those receipts on the store's website. Or if you want to take digitally scan those and keep those categorized, do that. You don't need to keep as much paperwork as we used to. Now, let's talk about utility drawers. Instead of having junk drawers, sorry, I've got allergies and my nose is itching. Instead of keeping a junk drawer, let's keep a utility drawer. Use that drawer for things like your measuring tape, your tape for when you need tape for envelopes, batteries, a hammer, a few nails and screws, batteries, what else? Items that you tend to need but can never find. That hammer, screwdriver, batteries, measuring tape, screws, all those useful items. That is what you're going to keep in that utility drawer instead of a junk drawer. Now, once you have everything organized, you have a home for everything. You have clear bins so you can see what you have. And if you don't like clear bins, everything should be labeled. And that should help you. Use vertical space, walls, back of doors. Now, I'm going to go over some of what Catie Kelly says. Catie uses her experience as owner of Sistamatic Organizing to share tips and hints for making the most of small living spaces. If you're renting, maybe you don't want to put holes in your wall, so you can get those back of the door racks for any door, closet door, pantry door, laundry door, and that can hold items. You can also use those little shoe bags, organizers, for the backs of doors. Catie says, I love the challenge of a small space. It's definitely more exciting to have to get really creative and figure out, okay, how can we maximize the space that this person does have. When you live in a small space, everything feels magnified. The stress that clutter brings is even higher because there is less room to move items around just to get to the things you need and use. Organizing without decluttering is just shuffling around clutter that you don't need. So decluttering is absolutely the first step when you are getting organized, especially when you're living in a small space. Maximizing vertical space is important. In a small living area, vertical space exists on empty walls, behind doors, on the sides of large furniture like refrigerators. Another overlooked area is underneath furniture. However, storing things underneath furniture without organization is a recipe for disaster. It's too easy for things to get lost that way. I have things stored under my bed in plastic pull-out bins, and it really works for me. Anything that reading material, I keep in a bin under my bed. The house shoes are under my bed in a bin. All those flats that you wear around the house, tennis shoes, the casual shoes are all under my bed. Now, furniture that does double duty can come in handy. Such specialty items can be extremely helpful for getting the most out of your space, whether they belong in the kitchen, bedroom, or living room. Now, here are some steps she says you can take. Use back of door racks for closets, pantries, or bathrooms. They are good for storing cleaning supplies, toiletries, accessories. Smaller hanging baskets or magnetic racks can be used in other areas of the house as well. Use vacuum bags to store bulky items. Use vacuum bags. Those ones that you suck out all the air to maximize space. Use those under bed. Coats, blankets, pillows, and winter sweaters can be squeezed down to fit into almost no space with those vacuum bags that you suck out all the air. Buy a coffee table that has storage underneath, whether in drawers or with a hinge top, or get an ottoman that provides room inside to store things while also providing a seating option or footrest. You know, you can put blankets in there that you want to change out seasonally. For items such as coolers, step stools, or wagons, invest in collapsible versions. If you have no garage, these can then be collapsed and stored in a closet or spare bedroom. All right, guys, that is some ideas from Catie Kelly of Sistamatic Organizing, and you can find her website and her Instagram. And you may even be able to find that Zoom that I told you about. It's a library in her area, I believe, that had her speak. And you can find that on YouTube by typing in her name. All right, guys, I am happy to start 2023. And I am here to help you with your all your organizing needs, and I will see you on the next podcast. Thanks for listening.